With research, in Africa, 85% of diseases contracted by children under the age of 5 are caused by lack of clean drinking water. Many people in the world are still relying on surface water instead of groundwater. Therefore, 2/3 of this, which is equivalent to 159 million people, live in Africa. Other research says that there are 319 million people living in Africa who don't have regular access to sustainable, clean drinking water. 695 million in Africa live without clean sanitation options. Research with UN says that 42% of all the healthcare facilities and hospitals in Africa don't have clean drinking water in their vicinity. In the developing world, including Africa, an average person has between 7 to 15 liters of water available per day. 2.2 million deaths a year occur because of severe diarrhea cases caused by unclean drinking water. 14 of African countries are affected by water stress, which means they have very little access to clean water. And lastly, only 16% of people living in sub-Saharan Africa have access to water through dedicated pipes and taps at their homes. Remember, we are on the program Talking to Africa, and the topic of discussion today we are looking is what is the solution to the water problems in sub-Saharan Africa. To discuss this point further, I will be joined by a panel of number 1, Mr. Joseph Karani, who is the researcher dealing with African affairs. Welcome, Mr. Joseph Karani. 2, I have Mr. Kibet Robert, who is a freelance journalist reporting on climate change, water, food security, environment, and conflict issues. Welcome, Mr. Kibet. And number 3, we have our own residential panelist, who is Mr. Jimmy Mjama, Director of Christ in Africa. Welcome, Mr. Mjama.
Thank you.
And I am your host, Machele Ngeno. Now, our question we are looking today is, Africa is under a crisis. And the crisis in Africa is majorly to deal with the water issue. We know that we have been told every now and then, and we believe that water is life. Without water, there is a major and a great problem. And therefore, Africa is under this major problem, which is the water. And I want my panelists to give us what is their view on this problem. Let me start with Mr. Mjama. What do you understand by the water issue in Africa?
Thank you, the host of this program, Mr. Ngeno. And first of all, I would like to thank the panelists for this great gesture of talking about water. Water has been such a precious commodity in Africa. Not even in Africa, but entire world at large.
Yes.
And as it has said, cleanliness is second to godliness. And many waterborne diseases that have been witnessed in Africa are being associated with dirty water and drinking water in Africa. And this issue, a good example, if our studio technician could show us in a screen, is the place known Genvei in Benin. The place is so good, but it has been submerged by water. And houses have been submerged by water. And we found that the water there is, very dirty for human consumption.
Yes.
It can't be utilized by human consumption. And it's from there, I'm telling you, those people in Benin suffer a lot due to water stress. And they walk distance looking for clean water.
Yes.
Another example I can point out in Africa is South Africa, Cape Town.
Yes.
Recently, we heard that people, all residents of Cape Town, could queue looking for water. And this issue has been caused by what rural to urban migration. A lot of people are living rural to urban, and they are causing what we call a lot of water need. because
In the urban areas.
in urban areas.
Yes.
And as I can tell you, African governments still rely on colonial infrastructures which were being laid in colonial period.
Yes.
And the number of people has increased, number of residents has increased
Compared to the site.
compared to the early age.
Yes.
And this has caused a lot of problem. And I'm telling you, still in Africa we have a lot of problem.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mjama. I would like Mr. Kibet to give us his view on the water and the water issue in Africa according to his own understanding.
Well, thank you, Matele, for this, and I'm happy to participate in this discussion because this is one of the things that has been overlooked for a long time. Realizing that in African continent, where some 1.2 billion people sit, and there's a projection again, is an increase all over the world, the number of people that are going to live in this world. Now, when we talk about water, it's an issue that has been ignored a lot. People are talking about poverty, conflicts, resources, but then water can be one of the things that is causing this.
All these other problems.
Yes, exactly, because you say poverty is an epidemic that is caused by causing ethnic conflicts, climate change, and any other issue. But then they overlook that this water, access to clean water, again, can be one of the causes to all these problems.
Yes.
So that is one of the things that has to be talked about monthly, and it's also something that everybody wants to. And handling it from my point of profession as a journalist, we are the ones supposed to bring out these problems, these issues to the public, to create a debate, so the governments can create a debate to talk about funding areas to focus on. But you find issues to do with water is an underreported topic.
Yes.
In the media industry, because perhaps you can say it's not as sexy in quotes,
Yes.
it's not appealing, it's not selling.
Yeah.
But coming up with certain ideas to discuss about perhaps can create a debate. So water is a problem in Africa and will still remain a problem because we don't have enough infrastructure to respond to such crisis.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kibet. Mr. Karani, give us your view.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nguyen, for inviting me for this talk show. And on the topic of water stress in Africa, we realize that Africa faces so many challenges dealing with governance, corruption, and all those issues. But we tend to forget about the issue of water shortage in sub-Saharan Africa. And one thing to realize is that as population continues to grow in Africa, people moving from the rural areas to the urban areas, they are continuing to increase the problem of water stress in those regions. And considering the fact that people living in the urban areas continue to depend on the water infrastructure that was laid many years ago, it means that we are increasing the population, but we are not focusing on the water infrastructure. So the problem of water continues to rise, and many parts within Africa are experiencing this problem because one thing, the streams that they are depending on are getting dried up because of climatic changes. If there is the issue of underground water, most of it is polluted, contaminated, meaning that it's not safe for even human consumption. When you go to issues like agriculture and irrigation, there is not enough water to provide for the agricultural purposes. And something else to realize is that when for Africa to rise, for Africa to emerge as a supercontinent amongst others, we need to focus on this problem because if we continue overlooking it, Africa will continue to suffer from food shortages. Africa will continue to suffer from all other problems that are related to water, including diseases, others to do with political issues, because when people lack water, they cannot even concentrate on the issues of economic growth. So for us to kind of address the problems that are facing Africa, we must go to the core of the issue, which is water problem. So as we continue to discuss about this issue, I believe that it shall bring an insight to the issues that Africa is facing, and even as we provide solutions to it, it is probable that maybe Africa will emerge as one of the supercontinents in the entire world.
Thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Mjama.
I do agree with our panelists,
Yes.
Mr. Kibet and Mr. Karani.
Yes.
Recently in Nairobi City,
Yes.
local television could discuss the water problem, how Ndakani Dam was running short of water.
It was a rainy season and there was no increase
water.
in the water in the
That
dam.
shows
Yes.
how this issue is so serious.
Yes.
And again in Ghana, the Ministry of Water did announce that there will be rationing of water due to little amount of rainfall in that area and pollution of the water bodies. That shows you, brother, there's something need to be done in African issue concerning water. And government of Africa should wake up. It's a time to wake up and see this is what we call a problem that is coming, beckoning in Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we find that all of us agree that there is the problem of water in Africa. That one has no question. There is water problem in Africa. And with this problem now, which areas does it affect mostly? This problem, it is a wide problem. How do we address it?
Okay, concerning me, as I can answer that question, the area that is affecting most is maybe things to do with health issues.
Yes.
And children and mothers are the ones who have been affected because some of the diseases that we are mentioning, like cholera, like hepatitis,
Dengue fever.
Dengue fever. Yeah. These are diseases that are caused by water pollution. And let me tell you, the recent released report by UN shows the percentage of disease that kills in Africa associated with water, water problem,
access to clean water.
Yes. And we found that this problem has gone deeper. Brown teeth, because there are fluorosis, bending of legs. Yes. So to me, children and mothers are the ones who have been affected.
Well, when you talk about what problems associated with water, leave alone the benefits.
Yes.
Problems associated with water, there are many because it cuts across. When there's an outbreak of diseases, you will find that it affects the vulnerable in the community, the poorest of the poorest. Yes. When in urban centers, because there's an rural to urban migration. There's a projection that by 2050 there will be around 800 million people living in urban areas in sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes.
What does this mean? It means that they're going to be a stress in the infrastructure because we don't have enough housing and good habitat for these people. These are the people, some 50 years since independence in Kenya, for example, and in other countries across Africa, we still have people living in an informal settlement. They are living in 10 by 10 foot shackles with no sanitation and access to water. What does this mean? These are the people who will face the brunt of lack of access to clean water for sanitation, because whenever there's an outbreak of disease like cholera, diarrhea, those are diseases that cannot treat by means like diarrhea. You have to use again clean water to handle it. So these are the people who are going to be affected. These are the people who live on less than $3.1, the current ranking a day. Okay, these are the people who live by mouth, by hand to mouth. Yes, so that they can be able to feed their families, because we realize that in any society that is poor, there's an increase in the population. There's that ratio, which means that these are the people who need a big help. But because the governments in sub-Saharan Africa are not discussing and not putting the agenda of water as a priority, it is going to impact on these people. Then again, some of the problems that's going by this water again, because we understand in sub-Saharan Africa, the people who are mandated to take care of the family are the women. They are the lead caregivers. These are the women who spend some 16 hours of their 24 hours going to search for water, using dangerous routes, facing the risk to access water. And then again, it's not access to water again, but are they accessing clean potable water? So there's a difference between accessing. Yes, you can access, like the people in Turkana last year, they were accessing water in dams. Okay, but this is water available in a dam. But this is the water that you share with the dogs, the donkeys, all the anything which requires water. That is the place. You can access. But is it quality? Is it clean? Is it potable? You can drink back at home. Those are some of the problems that are being caused by water, and there are many.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kibet. What about Mr. Karani?
I would like to say that in regard to water problems in Africa, I remember one time the former UN General Kofi Annan once saying that access to safe water is a fundamental human need. That means they should be regarded as a basic human right. So when someone is deprived of the access to water, it means that he or she is deprived from a basic human need. The same way we have the need to have food, shelter, clothing, even water should be included in that list, because without access to water, it means that many people suffer in various ways. In concurrence to what my fellow panelists have said in regards to water problem in Africa, one of the major issues is regard to diseases. And we realize that 80% or 90% of the diseases that many people in Africa face through is because of water stress or the lack of access to clean water. Diseases like diarrhea and malaria. You realize that people living in poverty, because Africa is facing various problems and poverty is one of them. And poverty, its major roots is in lack of water. That means that when people live in poverty, they cannot access safe water for drinking. Because there is a problem between accessing safe water and accessing water. Because people may be sharing water with animals, which may not be safe for human consumption. Other water may be contaminated with chemicals and even heavy metals like lead, manganese, chromium, which when consumed may accumulate in our bodies and cause other health problems. For instance, accumulation of lead in the body cause diseases like cancer. And in Africa, you realize that there is kind of an increase in the number of people infected with various diseases. Not even diarrhea and malaria only. We are focusing on the major diseases like cancer, because Africa is facing serious challenges of water, and if we do not address that issue, it means that we might wipe out the entire population in the coming years. As you realize, Africa continues to rise in population, and the projections that are there shows that in case we do not focus on the water problem, it means that in future Africa may be lacking water even to drink, not even for agricultural purposes, even to drink. So for us to focus on this issue, it's important that we address the core issue, and this problem of water needs to be addressed, because issues to do with food security, we cannot address food security without water, because for us to grow the crops on our lands, for us to have horticultural farms, it means that we need to have reliable water supply. So if it's a matter of only relying for rain-fed water or rain-fed agricultural purposes, it means that we may not go far in regard to food security. So we need to address this issue, because continued laxity in addressing the issue is making us lag behind in economic development. Because for us to be ranked similarly to countries like Indonesia, countries like UK, Russia, it means that we need, first of all, to focus on the core issues, the basic human needs that we Africans are lacking, so that we now focus on economic growth. Because there cannot be any economic growth without addressing the issues of water, stress, and poverty.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we find that here the major problem is access. Yes, we can access water. But what is the quality of that water? How many people in Africa are access to quality drinking water? Because research says that even in the hospitals or healthcare facilities in Africa, they lack clean water. So what is our access to water in Africa?
A good example that you have mentioned out that 500 million people lacking clean water in sub-Saharan Africa is not a joke.
Yes.
500 million.
That is a big number.
Big number.
Yes.
Not a joke. And it is good that African governments should lay out some of the structures that people should follow. All the society should implement to make sure that they have clean water. And I think now Africa, it has come a time that Africa should now start using what we call desalination technology. Desalination technology is a removal of sodium chloride and other minerals to make water suitable for human consumption. And I'm telling you, Africa do have water, surrounded by water. We have Mediterranean, we have Atlantic Ocean, North Atlantic, South Atlantic, we have Indian Ocean. Yes. Those are water.
We have the Red Sea.
Red Sea.
We have the Mediterranean
Sea.
Yes.
And
not mentioning the rivers and the lakes within the African continent.
The method, you can see the best method that if Africa will implement desalination technology, I'm telling you, we are going to whip this problem of water in Africa. Because what is the method needs? The only method needs is to remove all those minerals that are not unwanted minerals in water. And a good example to that country that has made that tremendous step is Israel.
Yes.
You have seen that Israel has made that step. And in Africa, if this method will be implemented, it will solve water problem 55% of the water problem
In Africa.
in Africa.
Yes.
I'm telling you, my brother,
Yes.
Israel is ahead in terms of agriculture. Is supplying fruits, i.e. grapes,
Yes.
orange, mangoes, and they're only utilizing the surrounding water by making sure that they use this method, desalination technology,
Yes.
and it will help. I'm telling you, it's a time for Africa and technicians, engineers to start focus on this method, making sure. But the only problem that lies in Africa with this method is the surrounding countries.
Yes.
Maybe like Victoria. You'll find that like Victoria, it's being shared by 3 countries.
Yes.
Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya.
Yes.
If Kenya start tapping that water, it will cause a lot of political strife.
Issues with the other countries.
Again, there's a political strife that's underground between East Africa and Egypt. Is it Egypt or Ethiopia? Egypt.
Yes.
Egypt.
Yes.
Concerning Lake Victoria.
Because of the River Nile.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a water in Victoria Fall lying between Zambia and Zimbabwe.
Yes.
If that water could be desalinized and used properly, we know Victoria Fall do attract tourism, but we need water from it.
Yes.
Because in fact, once that water have come over the water, what is the other need? It should be used for other purposes. Because what attracts tourists is that the waterfall. At the end of the waterfall, the tourists are not interested in the water.
Yes.
Yes.
Again, there's a Congo River shared by Central Africa. Is it Central?
There is a number of countries.
Yes, sharing Congo River.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, there's a report which I read somewhere. There is a laid out infrastructure to tackle the problem in Congo Basin.
Yes.
But because of again political issues, it's affecting people of Chad, Central Africa, Congo region. And the water there is 50%. They are only utilizing 10%. That's a shame to Africa. Big shame. Totally. Because we can't use the little resources that God has gave us.
Yes.
That time I think desalination comes in.
Okay, in fact, on that point, you are talking of the water sources which is shared in countries.
Yeah.
And these water sources, they remain dormant because of the conflict which countries arise with when it comes to the utilization of these waters.
Yeah.
One country will complain that you are benefiting much from the other.
Yeah.
And that is where the problems come in. So the people will still remain poor because the governments which shares this resource are the one causing this.
A good example is Migingo Island.
Yes.
Just a small island.
But the people suffer there because of the conflict between two governments.
Two governments. Yeah.
Keep the land covered with vegetation, especially on our forested mountains. The pines, the eucalyptus, both from the north and the southern hemispheres, they are extremely valuable trees economically, but they are doing untold damage to our ecosystem. And they cultivate maize and beans and potatoes and carrots. They make money today, but that's what they produce. Grasslands of steep slopes where when the rains hit, the soils come rushing down.
But also, if necessary, to desalinate seawater and convert it for human use. Because seawater, that's seawater in the ocean. If you remove the salt, you can use that water.
Mr. Kibet, give us your view.
Start with we understand going back to water stress, like my fellow panelist was talking about water stress in Africa. We are looking at this because water is a political instigator in the African continent. Much as the African governments and the leaders are refusing to put it as an agenda to discuss it as one of the contributing factors towards economic growth. Yes. They understand that this water in itself is one of the key players in politics. of development
Definitely.
or politics of division.
Yes.
Because when you talk about Africa, some parts of the Africa, of course, which are arid, are inhabited by people who are vulnerable. They are agro-pastoralists. Some of them are completely pastoralists.
Yes.
And the water is a resource to them. Whenever there is no access to water, conflicts must arise.
Yes.
Combined with the grazing land and water, it becomes a problem. Looking at this on the water crisis, sometimes back when there was a difference between any codiform, okay, when there was a split, the rebel-led north and the government-led south.
Yes.
There was an issue with unpaid water bills.
Yes.
Which means the people who are affected now are going to face a crisis in health in terms of cholera outbreak and such kind of diseases. Look at the Darfur issue.
Yes.
Way back in Sudan. It used to surround around water resource. Water as a resource. Water as a resource among the pastoralists. And it created a lot of disturbance for the country. So for us as